Well, this entire time I have been playing a character, so the world has never really truly known who I am.
On September 14th, Paris Hilton gave us all a glimpse into her real life when she released her documentary, This Is Paris. And in the documentary, she takes us behind the curtains of her perfect world to show us that it's actually not so perfect after all, with her health and personal life taking a backseat to her ambitions, and with a deep and dark secret from her childhood still affecting her to this day. Hey, what's up everyone, it's Mackenzie here, and today on the channel I'm going to be filling you in on all the shocking revelations Paris made in her new documentary and why it's making the world look at her in an entirely new way. But before we get into it, make sure to like and subscribe below. Also check out our playlist of other news stories right up there. So Paris Hilton has been a household name for practically her whole life, with her being known as a spoiled heiress, socialite with a tape, with a dog in her purse, or a dumb blonde famous for being famous. One of the most shocking things that we've already talked about is that her whole ditz and dumb blonde persona was actually just an act, with her using that character to sell products and make her millions, including a fake, high-pitched voice. But one of the scariest things that she revealed is that she still has nightmares to this day from the physical and emotional trauma she was put through as a kid, after she was put into a terrifying boarding school by her parents for her bad behavior as a teen. With her sister Nikki Rothschild Hilton revealing when the family moved to New York is when Paris started to go out and party, with her using a fake ID to get into clubs. When her parents felt she was too out of control, they started putting her in boarding schools that were supposed to tame her, but they didn't, and she would often just break out of them and run away. But one of these schools was different, and the trauma she suffered there was the worst that she would ever experience. The experience started when she was taken from her bed in the middle of the night, and she thought she was being kidnapped. But when she realized her parents were watching it all happen, she was never the same again. Not only did she never trust them again, but her sleep would be permanently affected, with Paris saying in the doc, quote, "I thought I was being kidnapped. I started screaming for my mom and dad. No one came. As they were taking me, I saw my parents standing by the door crying. I was like, please help me, what's happening? And no one would tell me what was happening." The school she was brought to was Provo Canyon School in Utah. Quote, "the worst of the worst," she says, with her saying that she would get yelled at and hit all day long, and that she felt the people that worked there loved hurting children. She also said she was given pills to take, and when she pretended to take them and they found out, she was put in solitary confinement naked. However, the school has changed hands since Paris attended, so the current Provo Canyon school might not be doing these things now. In the terrible 11 months Paris was there, she said the only thing that kept her going was, quote, "thinking about what I wanted to do and who I wanted to become when I got out of there," saying she wanted to be so successful that her parents could never control her again, even though she reveals her parents never knew about the abuse and she never even told them when she got out. Near the end of the documentary, Paris reconnects with some of her old roommates at the school who shared their own horrifying stories through the Break Code Silence campaign that they started, even revealing that tons of other celebrities were also forced into schools like this, although she didn't name names. Near the end of the movie, Paris tells her mom about her past, and her mom looks shocked, saying that if her and her father would have known, she would have been out of there in a second. Although a lot of people in the comments were disappointed that her mother never actually truly apologized in the film. Another huge revelation was around her very infamous sex tape that really started the trend of people becoming wildly famous off of tapes like that, with her revealing she felt pressured by her boyfriend at the time to film that tape in 2003, saying, quote, "that was a private moment with a teenage girl not in her right headspace, but everyone was watching it and laughing like it's something funny." Adding that if the same thing happened today, the narrative would have been a lot different, and I definitely agree with that. Continuing, "I just remember him pulling out the camera and he was kind of pressuring me into it. Like, oh, you're so boring. Do you want me to just call someone else? No one will ever see it." Then clapping back at the ridiculous rumors that she leaked the tape herself, saying, you know, why would anyone ever do that? All the negativity from that experience has now made her have trust issues, especially in her relationships, with her admitting that she puts cameras in her room when she starts dating someone new because she wants to know what happens when she's not around, and saying she even gets new computers for each boyfriend because they always break into her computers. Even showing an event between her and the guy she was dating at the time of filming, where he was being very possessive and difficult right before she was gonna DJ at the biggest EDM festival in the world, Tomorrowland. And there were some other bombshells in the doc as well, like how she was the original influencer and she now hates the me-obsessed culture that she had a part in creating. But seriously, if you guys are interested at all in Paris or just other big celebrities like that, I highly recommend the documentary because I was just so shocked at how different her life was compared to what I originally thought in my head about it. And my biggest takeaway is that fame and riches cures the hole in your heart only temporarily, but it won't make you truly happy and can sometimes create problems that really weren't there before, especially in relationships. Well, that's all for the story, guys. Let me know what you're thinking below about all of it. I'd love to hear what you have to say. But before we head out, I'm gonna shout out some comments from my video on the name Karen going extinct. So Grace said, I feel bad for the people who are actually named Karen that are nice. Yeah, whenever I encounter a Karen, just like a person named Karen, I never treat them differently, but I do have to say, like, I do think about it. I'm like, ooh, like, her name's Karen. Like, I don't treat them negatively, but it's just something that I do think about. So I hope no one's just like treating people named Karen badly. That would be just outrageous. Then the Truth1214 said, I was hoping actual Karens were going extinct. No, definitely not. I think with the state of the world, they're only going to increase. I don't think they're going anywhere. Entitled people are just getting worse and worse as us of a society is getting so impatient. Like, we're just so impatient. We want what we want now. Like, I think social media is probably a big part in that. We really need to change that. It's a really big issue. Even for me, like, I'll admit. Then Rainy Dog Days said, the name Amber is becoming unpopular because of Amber Heard. Stop it. Is that true? I mean, it could be a little bit because of her, but I think also Amber is just like a early 2000s kind of name. Like, I don't personally know anyone named Amber. It might just kind of be a name that's going out of style anyway. But I guess like Karen was a name that's going out of style, but like, you know, this whole meme situation is making it go down like even faster, so could be a bit of that. Alright guys, well that is all for the video today. Thanks so much for sticking around. If you made it all the way here, make sure to like and subscribe below. Also follow the team on our socials if you want to see more of us, and I will see you in the next one.